Okay, today we're going to do indicator 6 part 1. We're actually going to divide this indicator up into 3 parts. 2 parts are going to be fraction models, and then the third part you'll be familiar with, but we're going to take it up a notch. So dividing fractions using models. Why use models? First of all, the learning target says I can construct a fraction model to represent dividing by fractions. So we're going to create models to represent dividing by fractions. And today we're going to concentrate on dividing fractions by fractions. So a lot of you are already familiar with keep, change, flip, or flip, keep, change, or keep, flip, change, KFC. Some teachers teach it that way, but I'm keep, change, flip. But today we're going to see why keep, change, flip works by using fraction models. We're going to represent them by fraction models. So we have 3/4 divided by 1/5. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw 2 identical boxes using my denominators. 4 for my first fraction, that tells me how many units to go down. 5 tells me, that's an arrow, how many units to go across, okay? So I'm going to use the shape tool, and I'm going to draw a 4 by 5 box. So I'm going to start here, go down 4. I'm going to start here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already counted them off. And then close your box up. Doesn't have to be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, 4 down. So I'm going to do an identical box. And I'm going to explain to you in a moment why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why we do 2 boxes. Okay, as you can see, that's not perfect. Okay, so my first box is going to represent 3/4. My second box is going to represent 1/5. Okay, so what I'm trying to see is how many 1/5s are in 3/4. Well, how do I do this with these boxes? First, let me change colors here. We're going to represent 3/4. So let's look across here. Let's look at this one. And we're always going to shade this first box horizontally. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal rows. And we're going to shade 3 of them. And if you're doing it with a pencil, you want to do it light because you're going to have to come back and draw over it. And you'll see why I say that. So don't, on this, I can write on top. But if you're doing it on paper, shade lightly. So this one, I'm going to do 1/5. Look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. I'm going to shade 1 column because that's what that tells me. Now, here's the next part. And I put a video up yesterday. I think, no, it was Thursday the 9th, I believe. I put a video up explaining this. Same problem. So in this column, I'm going to number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this 1/5 is divided into 4 sections. So I'm going to determine how many groups of 1/5 are in the first box. So I have to say how many groups of 4 are in this first box. So I'm going to mark off, I'm going to count groups of 4, and then I'm going to circle them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 right there. And let's go ahead and put a big number 1 in there so we'll know we've already counted that off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put a big 2 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 right there. I'm going to put a 3. But I have 3 left over. I'm counting groups of 4, so I have 3 out of 4 left. That's my denominator right there. That's going to be the denominator. And these 3 right here, that's going to be the numerator. I'm going to show you what I'm saying. Numerator. So how many groups of 4 are in the first box? Well, first we have the big 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3 out of 4. So my denominator is 4. And how many boxes I have left, that goes as the numerator. So if I divide 3/4 by 1/5, I should get 3 3/4. So that's actually my answer. to that problem. And if you want to check it with keep, change, flip, you can. So let's look at another example. 1/3 divided by 1/6. 1/3 divided by 1/6. So again, this is going to be my down. That's in my box. And this is going to be across. Go to my shape tools again. Okay, so I'm going to count 3 down. I'm going to do 2 identical boxes. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then close up my box. I'm using the line tool on Cami. It's under shapes, and that's the line tool. Some people like to use the box tool. I'm not that great with it. So we got 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Always double check because your boxes have to be identical and they have to be the same size as these denominators. So that's 3 down, 6 across. If it's 5 across or 7 across, you're not going to get the right answer. Okay, so my first box is going to represent 1/3. Excuse me.
Teachers, please excuse this interruption. At this time, we need all 7th grade football players to report to the gym. All 7th grade football players to report to the gym. We also need only the 8th grade football players who are riding the bus to report to the gym. That's all 7th grade football players and only 8th grade football players who are riding the bus report to the gym. Thank you.
Okay, excuse me. We go Lions. We have a game in Florence today, so that's why we had that interruption. So now we're going to look here. We got 1, 2, 3 rows. So we're going to shade 1 out of those 3 rows. I like that green because it's kind of light and you can write on top of it. Now here I got 1, 6, and my 6s. So if you'll notice, you always shade the first box across, and the second box you're going to shade down. So I'm going to number this 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to count off groups of 3 here and circle them. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to give that a big 1. 1, 2, 3, and that's a big 2. So 1/3 divided by 1/6 is equal to 2. There are 2 1/6 in 1/3. So let me just write that, and you can put this in your notes. There are, 2 1/6. I don't put those 2 numbers together like that. Y'all are used to me. Okay. There are 2, that looks better, doesn't it? 1/6 in 1/3. So 1/3 divided by 1/6 is 2. Here's another example, and I'm going to leave the last one for you to try. 2/3 divided by 1/6. So we're going to have a 3 by 6 box. Let me go to my line tool again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I'm better with the mouse than this thing here. Okay, and then 3 by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All righty, so now this one is representing 2/3, and this is representing 1/6, and of course we are dividing. So let me shade yellow. Let me do yellow this time. So 1, 2, 3 rows, and we're going to shade 2 of them. And again, well, that doesn't turn out well. Again, my first box we shade across, we shade rows. And then the second box we shade columns. So that's 1 out of my 6 columns. Okay, I'm going to number these. And then let me see how many 1/6 I have over here. And I'm going to do groups of three. 1, 2, 3. So let me close that off and I'm going to number it a big one. 1, 2, 3. I'm just counting the grids. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So that one was complete. So there are 4 1/6 and 2/3. All right, this last problem, you're going to do it yourself. Just as a reminder, you're going to do 3 down and 4 across. All right, have a good day.